Once again, this is Big Rob here, and talking a little bit about my comic book that's coming out. It's called M18, and it's a story about genetically altered humans. Um, these guys have been altered before they were even born. So there's a secret project called the Wildcore that the government has been doing without the public knowing about it. So they have facilities installed in different clinics around the United States. So they go and they put the genetic material in embryos before they're born, the infants. So when they reach a mature age, or sometimes they even manifest their powers before they're after in their early childhood. So mostly they should take place in their teens. But so what happens is that the story focuses on Manuel Aragon. Of course, he's Mexican American descent, and he's called. He's all Wildcore subjects are designated with numbers. So he's subject 18. So, but when he manifests his power, he goes crazy when he becomes powerful. So he's a 16-year-old kid that just accelerates to this huge guy, at the age of 16. It just gives him all these incredible powers. Makes him go crazy for when he first manifests himself. So, and he just rips up into soldiers and whatever is around him. So they designate him a maniac. So that's why it's M18. So here's some prints from my promotional stuff. So this is M18, and of course one of my favorite villains from the book called 8-Ball. 8-Ball is also he's from the Wildcore project, but he's also enhanced cybernetically. So this guy he's really powerful, but he becomes more powerful in the future because he meets up with Dr. Zero later in the future. So he enhances him further. So we'll see more of that along the way. So this is also another couple of characters called this is White Star, and this is White Star, and this is Barrier right here. White Star, and you could notice if you see the early versions of Barrier, she has a different hairstyle, and but she alters her hair, of course, in the future when they waken out of cryogenic sleep. So take a little background on that is that so the government has figured this is a failed project. The Wildcore subjects are stable. The process that created them it brings instability. They can go into madness or they can explode. So the two doctors that have created them, they have a recall called Project Wildcore Retrieval, which they go and they have Dr. Rush, and there's Dr. Rush, Dr. Edis are the two predominant doctors. These guys have been created in test tubes themselves, but they're super geniuses. So Dr. Edis, he derives a concoction that can stabilize their genetic structure. So they have to recall all the Wildcore subjects. So it could be 200. Who knows how many there were out there? So Manuel Aragon, or they call him Manny for short, he's kind of like the last subject that for the catalyst. So they have to 8-Ball has to go retrieve him and bring him back to be stabilized. At this time, we don't know where Dr. Zero is, or Dr. Rush, which later on becomes Dr. Zero, Dr. Edis at this time, but they have another Dr. Edis's colleague. We don't have a name for him yet. He's unknown. So they bring him into to the lab, secret lab, and they catalyze him. But the catalyst has a reaction. He's got a reaction to it, which unleashes his powers, which kind of makes him go crazy at the moment. But what happens? You see, apparently he gets killed from the beginning, but he's not really killed because what the power does to him, he's virtually unkillable. He can feel pain. He can feel all this stuff. You can kill him, but he'll come back to life because he resuscitates. So what happens? So through this time, there's an 80-year gap because of the Wildcore project that has been actually tabled. So they put all these guys in this cryogenic sleep for 80 years in this warehouse located somewhere in an underground bunker somewhere. because it's failed. They just want him down there just to keep him subject. So they forget about him for 80 years. So Dr. Edis, which is, I don't want to reveal any more stuff, kind of helps revive him. And Manny is the first of the frozen wild core subjects to waken out of the 80-year sleep. So during those 80 years, Manny didn't know what happened, but after he got shot the first time, pretty much they had a robotic device on him that would manipulate him. They used him for a while in a lot of covert wars and stuff without his knowledge. He had no memory or recollection of that. But later on, you'll get to see a lot of action, furthermore develop all the characters. Upon the 80 years, when they wake up, Manuel's supposed to go back and release all the rest of the wild core teams. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, some are straight evil, some are out just for themselves. Some of them, upon contact of the air of the future air, because the catalyst has been inside them for a long time, they immediately transform. Some do, some don't, some still have their powers, but drastic transformations, some subtle, some have already done before they got into the cryogenic sleep. So you get to see that, but it's going to be a good book. I have to get this out as soon as possible. I've got a lot of stuff that I do. I do T-shirt design, hand painting. I do graphic design. Well, I do a lot of stuff, and I'm always busy. So I had to hurry up and rush this out. But I will be going under the Immortal Samurai banner, so to speak. But also I have my own studio, which is called the Graphics Factory. It's been around for a while, so it's going to be the Graphics Factory Studios as well. So it's going to be both. So I have more comic book ideas that I have doing. My next one, project I would like to do is tag the Teenage Bounty Hunter, and it's a futuristic take on a young American Japanese young lady, teenager, of course. And a story is written by my daughter and me, so kind of want to take on her because she's a shopaholic, and her name is Agatha Tagaki, and they call her Tag for short. And she basically becomes a bounty hunter so she can fund her shopping. So and this is all in the future as well. So it's going to be one of those things. It's going to be kind of a Japanese kind of anime type of twist, manga twist to it. Also, speaking of that, M18 is going to start off with the first. I did this book about 12 years ago, and you'll see a lot of the original artwork from that. And then I think after issue 5, it's going to be back to my new style, and it's kind of having to make a twist on it as well. So here I'll give you a couple of pages from the. These are kind of rough, so I'm going to give you a sneak peek on some of the panels for book 2. So this is what you'll probably see. So these are like 12 years old. So I'll give you a first couple of sneak peeks from the first book 2. So, and can imagine I did all these were done by hand, pencil, ink. And they're awesome. I love the way they came out. The years have been kind to them, but I'm going to be restoring them on the computer. So that's what's taken me. That's taken me so long to do the first one, is to scan them and retouch them. So here's another panel. So pretty much, I have the 4 of them are done pretty much. I just have to redo them, retouch them. So, and you'll notice there's going to be not a drastic change, but in style. So when I do the 5th book, so you'll see that. Okay, so this is Big Rob, and as soon as I get the first issue, and you guys be able to get it at Comic Express, and after that, reprints I'm going to be printing through James Stone and Dan Stone through the Immortal Samurai Comics. So hopefully everything will be cool, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks.